Hi, I'm Laurie Dobson, and this is Island Update, and it's Monday, March 30th, 2020. And I'm doing this video from Cranberry Isles, Maine. Right now, today being almost at the end of the 2 weeks that we originally started this quarantine, we are seeing the islands in a state of preparation or trying to deal with, the reality more or less effectively, that by the end of the week, we're going to see it in our county, I believe. We were at 5 counties, now we're down to 4. Somerset just got a case. It's traveling around and people have returned and boats are going back and forth. Some people are taking their boats, going off island to their, they have places off island. Some of the people that live out here in the winter actually, year round, actually have places they stay during the winter and the cold months, and they have the option of staying there and foraging around for supplies and then bringing them back on their boats or however, and bringing them back and storing things. So while that's a useful thing to do and a cost-effective thing to do, it's increasing their exposure all over the place exponentially. And we've been telling everybody that if you travel more than a day away, you can't be, you're under quarantine. So, maybe these people consider themselves under quarantine, but we're still supposed to really reduce our trips off island. Most of us, I would say, are ordering food from Cranberry General through Holly and or the Fernals over at Pine Tree, and packages coming by mailboat, various places that they've ordered food from. And those are good options for everybody. And so those are the things. And then, keeping the social distancing in place, really in place. So I think those are good sort of stopgap measures. But when we start getting cases up here, which could be as soon as next week, what happens? And I would think that everybody would be interested in finding out about what we are doing, what our plans are. And we have a basic plan of basic protocols that are SOGs, they're called, from our service, Cranberry Isles Rescue Service. I've decided to, even though I'm involved with the service, that it's better for me to say the word I as opposed to we, because at no point in any of this have I been trying to attempt to unintentionally. But I definitely don't want to give the impression that I'm speaking on behalf of the service or on behalf of the selectmen or on behalf of anybody else, even the island. I'm speaking for myself. The we sometimes is the automatic Bob and I. We both understand this thing in a basic agreement way. Not always, because we're together. But so bear with me while I transfer my pronoun to the singular. But I am trying to think about the best for our island and for our island town, which Cranberry Isles, our 5-island town. And since I've had a history of being a public official, a planning professional, land planning professional. That's where I've made my bread and butter over many years. And I've also had my own business, landscape architecture business. And I've also been involved. I've run for office many times, requested to run for state representative a couple different times, ran for the U.S. Senate in 8. As an independent and trying to raise issues that I think are most important at the time. So I come from a mentality of what can we do? What can we think ahead to see that we must confront now so we don't confront it later when we're not prepared to do that. And I think that, I've expressed how I have had some admiration for Governor Cuomo, because he sounds like he's, getting all these 140,000 beds and he's really mobilizing. But then I found out, behind the facade for 20 years now, he's reduced the beds and the staffing and the ability of the hospitals to cope by nearly, since 2000, about approximately on average 1,000 beds a year, so 20,000 beds less by his direct order. He's proposing $2.5 billion in Medicaid cuts, even though if they had Medicaid at a certain level, they would get $7 billion from the government. So even though he's coming across this very calm, concerned, empathetic character and seems to be really doing everything for people, some of the most difficult things are not being done. Making sure people and not the corporations are really being considered. People need to know that if they get sick, can they afford the ambulance? Can they afford the hospital? Will their town back them up? Will their state back them up? And I have not got a certainty about what our town can do. I know we have a $50,000 contingency that was put in place this year, and at the town meeting, it went by without comment. We had lots of different things go by without comment, and I'm going to not have a comment myself about that because this video is not about that. But we need to have a plan whereby, and I did ask at the meeting, would general assistance be able to address the coronavirus? And I was told that it's a very specific response to situations. The contingency money, according to Denise, was for specific things, like if the seawall fell down or this or that. So while people at home are worried about their jobs and worried about, will Medicare, Medicaid, whatever, will their costs be covered? Will Social Security still be in place? Will all these things continue to function? Or are we going to end up in a state of complete upheaval? And being as how I've sent, I've gone through enough flack for opening my mouth that I've been able to know that you don't get shot dead for opening your mouth. You're not a bad person if you have concerns. You're not alone if you have these concerns. Other people have them too. And I'm going to be saying more about these sorts of things this week and try to get into the nuts and bolts, but I'm going to try to find some specific answers to some of my questions. And I'll start asking the question. I'll pose the question I'm asking. I'll try to get the information, and then I will pass it on to you. Right now, I wish I had more to say, except that I will say I am committed to finding out what in our area we're doing, and maybe it's a model for how you can address questions you have either here, where you are now, where you intend to try to make a difference yourself. And I honor all of you. I respect all of you. I know your decisions are hard as well, and I'm there with you. I care about you, and we'll talk again. Have a good day.